LeetCode problem number 647, Palindromic Substrings. So this problem is very straightforward. It gives us a string S, and what we have to do is return the number of palindromic substrings in it. So a palindrome, here it describes, it reads the same backwards and forward. And a substring is basically a cut of characters within the string. So more on the palindrome. Palindrome, a good example of a palindrome would be race car. So we see here, if we split them up, we have CAR on the left and CAR on the right as well. Right. So race car is a palindrome. Another example would be, let's say, BB. Right. This is a palindrome. This is also a palindrome, even though if you notice the length of this string is an even number. Right. As long as the left and right read the same, it's a palindrome. So the way I did this, first of all, I have a count variable here. This is what we will be counting and returning. And I have a for loop here, which will iterate through every character in the string given as. And here you can see there's two find palindrome functions called at once for each character. One find palindrome function will be used for even number palindromes, or the other is to check for one find palindrome functions will be checked for odd number palindrome strings, while the other find palindrome function will be checking for even number palindrome strings, right? Example AA. So what it will do actually, let's say I use my race car. So let's say I and J is over here. So I and J will basically move in opposite directions. So if I, J, basically checking each character at the same time, making sure that they are the same. Right? So for ABBA, for example, if we were to use the same method, obviously we cannot find any substrings here, right? Because immediately on the next iteration, these two are not the same characters, right? So that's why we need to call it one more time, but this time have J plus 1 instead. So now we are checking for even characters, right? I and J here, so we'll check. So this is a valid palindrome. Okay, so basically that's what this function does. It will, as long as I and J falls inside the range of the string and they are the same, my count will increment, and I will keep spreading out I and J as well. Right? Once that is done, once I've looped through every single character and found all the palindromes and counted all of them, I will then return the count. Right? So let's have an example. Let's say we have AAA. So we are expecting 6. So let's see what happens. So on the first call, we have A itself only, right? With A itself, so that's 1. And then if we check using this method, because I plus 1, right? We have AA. Okay, looking good. That's nothing else anymore, because if we move like this, I falls out of range. So we're basically done for the first character. Next stop on the next character. Here, the next character, right? A itself is a palindrome, so we add another A, IJ, and then remember that we're moving left and right. So here, if you do this, this is a palindrome. So A, and afterwards, there's nothing else there anymore. But we still have to check for even number, right? Even number palindrome. So I and J here, and this is a valid palindrome as well. So we add on AA. And I think we're done with that, because if we were to increment J again, it will fall outside of the range. Okay, And lastly, when I reaches the last character, A itself is a palindrome. And I think that's it, right? We cannot move J forward anymore. And if we count 5, 6, we have 6 in total, which is the output it needs. Right? So all in all, this method works. It's pretty straightforward. That's all I have to show. Thanks.